Hey y'all, it's your girl Vanessa from Kittee, certified sexologist and community sexual health resource. And today is technically April 5th because it's after midnight, but I'm still operating on April 4th because I haven't been to bed yet, even though it's like super late. So, anyhow, it's April 4th for me, April 4th, April 5th for those of you in the US on regular time. Anywho, I am still on a buzz from the verses tonight. And if you didn't watch it, Tidal actually does a playlist of the verses the next day after they occur. So you can listen to all the jams that was being played and get your swerve on. I mean, because that's what you do to Ozzy Brothers music, right? And then Earth, Wind, and Fire brought the flame. Like, I felt all the elements. I feel so good. Like I said, I'm like super buzzed because I felt like that was an awesome verses. Um, but there's a lot of stuff going on. And I know usually, like I said, y'all know I have on lingerie. And so I'm still fully clothed, but I'm about to rectify that in a minute. Um, I wanted to talk to you guys about something because if you know me personally, you already know that I am hip hop. Like, I love hip hop. And you guys know that if you're a hip hop fan, you know that our dude, DMX, oh my God, I'm going to tear up. I love him so much, um, is in the hospital because of an overdose. And they are saying that the drugs that he did were actually tainted with a foreign substance. Um, First things first, obviously, I am praying for your recovery, DMX, and the Rough Rider family, and just everybody in hip hop because DMX is definitely one for the culture despite his lyrics and behavior. I have always just loved him and championed for him. And when he did his first concert, when he came out of jail, like, I was there, Johnny on the spot, because I just really adore his talent and have always known that he was a very complicated individual. So this is difficult. It's very difficult, actually. I wasn't even able to say his name. I just kept listening to his music yesterday when I found out about him having the overdose because that's difficult. And I know I typically talk about sex, but Intimate Conversations with Pink Kittee is really a platform that I plan to touch a lot of different topics that actually touch us as human beings because just like my website says and my motto behind Pink Kittee LLC, I truly, truly, truly believe that our relationships with ourselves are the most important relationships that we have. And although, obviously I want you to be getting you some, and I want to be getting me some, and I want the people over there to get them some, like, I want everybody to get them some. I also know that my body is affected by the thoughts that I have and the emotions that I have and the experiences. My perspective is framed by the experiences that I have or relate to, things like that. So, um, that being said, I just wanted to talk briefly about my thoughts on how people that have addictions are treated. And I'm not just talking about, I'm sorry, y'all, I got like three computers going on right now. I'm not just talking about addictions to drugs, like addictions to sex. Like, I do recognize that I'm a sex addict, and I used to feel ashamed of it, but I don't anymore. I've embraced who I am, and I keep saying I done went from like to y'all. Anywho, I I did it again. I have embraced that part of myself and recognized that it is something that I developed because of how I was taught as a younger person that my sexuality belonged to someone outside of me. So when I realized that I could own it, and that it being my sexuality, like that sounds really weird to say that it's something, it's an entity, a part of me, but not my whole self. Um, just embracing that part of myself, knowing that this is something that, I need to be watchful of, just like any other addict. I had to do a mental and spiritual, emotional rehabilitation on that issue, and acknowledge that it is a real thing. And um, and I'm just gonna stop right there and say that, recognize that a person with a sexual addiction, that doesn't mean that they just have sex with everybody. That doesn't mean that they are um, sexually irresponsible. It does not mean that. Um, it it I mean, basically, it really is addiction. Just like some people are addicted to chocolate cake. I probably have that addiction too, by the way. Some people are addicted to smoking cigarettes. It's like, they don't, just because they have a cigarette addiction to nicotine, they don't just smoke every cigarette kind. They don't go to Walgreens and be like, give me all 5 of those brands. They have a brand that they smoke, but when they smoke it, sometimes, before they know it, they've gone through a carton. That's how other addictions work too, including sex. So I don't have to have sex with multiple partners. I don't have to have sex with someone every day. However, when I am having sex with someone, I do have to recognize my addictive behaviors, that, it can get a little crazy. So it is something, like I said, that I had to do a mental, spiritual, emotional rehabilitation of. And that is what I was praying for DMX. When he got out of jail, the first concert that I went to was at the House of Blues. That I went, obviously it wasn't my first DMX concert because I freaking love him. But it was the first concert that he did when he got out of jail, this last bid. That's what I'll say. I believe it was 2 years ago. And he came out and he was like, I can't have any alcohol, so I'm not going to have any alcohol. But they giving me free bottles. So he literally was giving bottles of alcohol to people in the audience. Like, it was nuts. And I was like, oh, I'm so proud of him. This is hard, I know, because he's had this addiction for so long. And I followed his career for a very long time. I was actually introduced to DMX music by my ex-husband. And ever since then, like, I just loved him. Every CD, every release, even his little mixed stuff that he does with other people. Like, I'm with all the shits when it comes to DMX. So anywho, so I really am just praying for him. But I just want to talk about how some of the things that I was reading online, which is kind of why I'm staying away from the things that are online, is saying that, well, he always been a hype, and making fun of that. And, well, y'all knew this was going to happen and stuff like that. But it's like, it's a sickness. A person that has cancer doesn't get treated like that. They don't get treated like, well, if you wouldn't have smoked cigarettes, you wouldn't need to be in chemo. I mean, that's not the typical response. But when someone has a drug addiction, or if, again, they eat, they have an addiction to chocolate cake, or even, people that have a sex addiction, I remember it being like punchlines when I was like, because I did share it with people, that yes, I have to acknowledge that I do have a sex addiction. And it was like, ha ha ha, keep your dick away from her, she gonna grab it. Like, you know it's a real thing, it's a serious thing. And it's actually, it took a lot for me to even tell somebody, because I'm a woman, first of all, and the perception of me being a hoe. And then I decided, so if people think I'm a hoe, and I don't care if you think I'm a hoe. I really, really, really don't care if you think I'm a hoe. So, what the most important thing to me is what I think of myself when I look in the mirror. And if that's hoe today, then guess what? That's what you're getting when I walk out the door. My hoe spirit. Okay? But anyway, I digress. I I just really need us to stop criminalizing people that have problems. Bottom line, we need to stop doing that. I'm really like emotional about this DMX thing because you can literally see him trying to fight this thing throughout his entire career. I watched I believe it's called Unsung, or was it Uncensored? I don't remember. It was the Rough Riders. No. It was the Rough Riders something. And they did like a whole segment, maybe a whole show and a half on just the DMX aspect. And you could just see how much he was trying to fight this thing. And I would hate for us to lose him to that. He's a great dynamic force. Like, I mean, I've always loved him, so I spent time going, Tashira don't deserve him, blah blah blah. But like, I recognize and honor that woman, like in real life. I joked about me taking her man because I love him and I think he is like so dope. But I do recognize that this woman honored him and cherished him and loved him through like some of the sickest, craziest shit, probably stuff that would make me vomit if I thought of it, if I had known it, or most of us. And so, honestly, my heart goes out to her, his ex-wife, Tashira, and I believe that he recently got engaged or recently married somebody else or dating somebody. I know that there was another woman in his life at this time, not Tashira, but and their children and all the children that he made while he was married to Tashira. Like, my heart goes out to them. But I just wanted to talk about us and how we treat people that have addictions. I don't know how I deviated from that. We really need to learn how to be more supportive of people and not allowing them having flaws to make us forget that we have flaws. My thoughts were that I've only ever lived in the US. So in this country, I'm going to say, I don't believe that it happens everywhere. I would like to believe that it doesn't happen everywhere. But here in this country, there is a need for me to feel like I am better than the next person. Like, even when you watch these coaches with children's basketball and things like that, they're going, oh, be better than them, or these are your key rivals, we've got to do better than them. And yeah, there's a thing that is healthy competition, like this drives me to be better, but I think we take it to another level here. Like, even with the homeless, like, you have people that are going, well, if they can do this, then they can get a job. Well, it's possible that they can't. Last I checked, it's like 30 million people that are unemployed. That was the stat for last year, that there were 30 million people new unemployment claims. So apparently there are some people that just cannot. So to look down on somebody for being on their last leg when we're all just a decision or two away from that is just, we just have to walk away from that. This person, DMX, gives himself to us raw as hell. Like, it's dark and hell is hot and I'm slipping, I'm falling, I've got to get up. Like, oh shit. He expressed his vulnerabilities, and for us it was like, oh, it's over a dope track, because we all know Swiss Beats is dope as fuck, right? Like, one of the best producers known, right? So he always got some good shit. But like, his music really is telling his story. When you listen to it, it's really telling his story. What is happening with my hair right here? It's really telling his story. And I just feel like these people that are now saying, well, we already knew he was gonna die like that or whatever, the callous way that we are responding to this is not okay. And I really just want us to do better. I really want us to be better people. And I know it's not my job to save the world. I'm not trying to save the world. I just want the persons, my desire is that the persons that listen to me or not listen to me, but dialogue with me, or I encounter, or even y'all that are watching this video, walk away with a perspective that was, whether it's in line with yours or not, that we gain something from it, right? So that's my hope. Obviously, if it doesn't happen, I believe that I grow every day, so I'm still on target for my purpose, right? But I really just want us to stop villainizing. Is that the word? I think that's it. Villainizing, people that are different from us. Why do we need to compare the Black struggle to the gay struggle? They're both just struggles. Why do we need to compare the trans people to what is termed as biological women? Why do we need, or biological men even, why do we need to do that? If these persons are identifying a certain way and there is discriminatory behavior targeted towards them, it's wrong regardless, right? It's still wrong. So even like tonight, I didn't even plan to bring this up, but even like tonight, Steve Harvey with the back in the 70s, men didn't dance with men. Like, really, dude? Really, dude? Here in 2021, you still with these homophobic jokes? It's not funny. You really need to recognize perspectives, lives, experiences that are different from your own, and not try to put negative energy on them. Ain't it enough shit going on that you can't control? Your mouth, your thoughts, your perspective, the things that you utter are things that you should be able to control, but maybe he hasn't mastered himself yet. For all the age and the clothes and the books that he's written, he still hasn't figured out how to master himself yet enough to recognize that his experience, his perspective isn't the only one. And just because somebody has a different perspective doesn't mean that they're horrible. Like, I'm not saying he's a horrible person. I'm just saying, why do you need to disrespect a whole culture? Why do you need to disrespect a group of people? You could have just said, back in the day, I remember grabbing a woman and doing, and dancing with her, grinding on her, slow dancing, whatever. You could have said something like that. But no, rather than make it personal, you had to make it outside of yourself and say some stupid shit like that. And I know I said addictions, but here we go in another direction. But I just really need us to do better, be better, grow up. Can we just grow up? Just grow up. I am praying so hard for DMX. I don't know what's going on with my hair, but I don't want to be spending no time. Y'all like my new look? I like it. I feel sexy. I'm about to give somebody's son some problems. Anyway, I just really want us to do better. I want us to be better. And even if we don't, can we just not harass other people? Let's just say you love exactly who you are, how you are, your thinking, how you treat people, all of that. Can you just not harm other people? Can you just not disrespect other people unnecessarily? Can you? That's all I'm asking. Because I don't think just because a person has an addiction that they should be criminalized. I don't think they should have to go to jail for having an addiction. Like, that's what he went to jail for. If he has this addiction that he himself is unable to control, and then the government says, well, because you have this, you're getting locked up, but now all of a sudden we need to help them because most of the persons that are being reported these days don't look like him. It's still wrong. Whether it's legal or not to criminalize them, it's still wrong. And that needs to change. We should not be able to criminalize these people. They need help. DMX has needed help his entire life. and the streets that he lived on were not conducive to helping him. The friends that he chose, for the most part, were not conducive to helping him. And who knows what kind of help he really needed. Or maybe the truth of the matter is that he didn't want help. That could be true, that he didn't really want the help, that he got comfortable in this this addiction that he has that controls a lot of his behaviors. It could be that he was comfortable there because being someplace else was required him to deal with some stuff that he is unable to deal with. The fact is, we're all coping in some way. A lot of us are coping in ways that cause harm to us physically or emotionally or spiritually. But that doesn't mean that we're less valuable to the universe. That doesn't mean we're less valuable to each other. That doesn't mean that we're less, period. It just means that we handle shit differently. And that's my 2 cents. I ain't mean to be all downtrodden. Oh. So while I'm here, I just really want us, I just really want, my desire again with this video is for us to have a different perspective of that. That my addiction is chocolate cake and sex, right? And I don't expect to be penalized for that. His addiction was drugs of some sort, and he should be helped, prayed for, supported, lifted up, not treated like shit, not being on damn near his deathbed and having persons say all this negative stuff about him. I mean, I didn't say that he became a saint, so can't nobody say nothing bad about him. I'm just saying specifically this illness that he has doesn't warrant the vitriol that he's getting. Now, he might be a shitty ass person in real life, so he might deserve what other people got to say that actually know him. But this particular aspect is what I'm talking about. This addiction thing that he has been unable to control from where we stand anyway. It shouldn't be viewed as something that we can make fun of or, like I said, criminalize. It definitely requires support, prayer, however you send things to the universe or to God or to Jesus. It was Easter Sunday. Whatever you do, it deserves that if you care. Obviously, if you don't give a fuck, then don't. But then just keep his name out your mouth. Then, anywho, so that was what I wanted to say about that. Again, I can't say it enough. My thoughts and prayers are with his family, and obviously with him, praying that he recovers, not just recovers, get out of the hospital, but fully recovers from all of it. Okay, so I'm going to end my comment about that, and I'm going to say, please join me here on this YouTube channel on Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, live. I will have a roundtable discussion about the things we do to get to our happy. Some of us are, like I said, some of us are using weed, alcohol, vegetables, sex, so we're going to talk about it. Like, what are you doing to get to your happy, maybe you got a foot fetish and you just taking pictures of folks' feet. Like, let's talk about it. I'll see you on Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, live here. And it's going to be a roundtable discussion. So I'm going to have special guests, and I can't wait to introduce you to my guest. And, also Friday, April 30th will be a fellatio workshop, virtual. So you'll need to sign up, pay your money, and we will be doing it on a streaming platform, but not available to everyone. And I apologize, but it is women only for this virtual fellatio workshop. We're gonna do 10 different techniques. I'm going to be sending gift bags. The price is going to be $35 per person, and I hope to see you there. Look for the link very soon. Matter of fact, I'll be posting it very soon. I probably won't post it on this video. I'll be posting the link very soon for you to register, and it'll definitely be up before Friday. And this Friday, it'll be up before this Friday with the live session, but it'll also be posted on my website, www.pinkkittee.com. That's www.pinkkittee.com. And it will also be on my Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, because yes, we do all the platforms. All right. So you be there, or you be the one asking all the questions. See you then. Bye. Make sure you get you some.